Peace and greetings, you guys. What's good? It's your girl Naya here from the Metaphysical Mommy, and I am back for the last installment of the 31 days of tarot for 2018. So moving right into it, I'm going to be a little bit more casual today because it is what it is. So share some of your favorite deck storage. Okay. If you haven't heard by now, Arcana cases, Arcana zip pouches, go to the Tarotista shop on Etsy. It's amazing. So I have these Arcana cases. They have clamshell openings. So basically you open them like that. Your deck goes in there. There's a little flap right in the front you could keep your card of the day in, and then you just close it back the same way. She can create custom fits for, you know, specific decks if you want. I have one for my Tabula Mundi, which is a rather large deck, but she has all kinds of different beautiful different fabrics, different color, all kinds of different colors, just gorgeous. So I have, you know, I have these. I like these just because they look nice on a shelf. I feel like they're safe in my purse or my pocketbook, in a bag, on a desk. Like it looks beautiful no matter where you put it. And the fact that, you know, they're custom fitted for your decks. If you have, you know, certain ones like the Mary, I don't have one for the Mary L yet. I haven't picked one, but I'm going to, because I haven't decided whether I want to trim that deck or not. Oh, I'm so on the fence about that. Like, I want to, but I don't. So I haven't bought a case for it. But whenever I figure it out, I will. Let's see what else I have. So I have this beautiful green and gold one, and so she sews this all up. If you know how to sew, she also has like she sews the direct, like the not the dimension, but like the instructions on how to create your own if you have your own fabrics and things like that. So that's cool. I can't sew, so you know, that's my pitch. There's this fancy one here, and then she also has Arcana zip pouches, which can hold your decks too. These are a little bit cheaper than the cases, but they do have like a zip in there, so you could use any fabric that you see on that website. She should be able to do something custom for you. That's my Tarot Illuminati, because she's a chunker. But I was able to fit my Shaman Dream Oracle in there, in this, with the little book that it came with. So it could, but she could also make custom ones if you know. And then she has like bifold ones, so if you have like two decks that go together that you want to keep together, that you could keep them together in a thing. I think those cost a little bit more though, but check it out. The shop is dope. Okay, the customer service is great, and I think it's worth it if you have that special deck, you know, that you, I don't know, if you can afford it, get it. If you have that special deck and you know you feel like splurging on yourself, trust me, you will love the deck even more with that case to keep with it. I do have this little case, this Star Wars Stormtrooper case. I keep my kind of like the decks that I want to use more, so that it's kind of like right there. So that's my little Stormtrooper box, that, and then I just call my decks that are in there my Stormtroopers for that time period. Number 22 is share the card that was the hardest for you to get when you were first learning tarot, and how do you feel about this card now? The card that I had the hardest time figuring out, was probably the Justice card. I didn't know how to read it. And I'm talking from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It just seemed really stark and cold, and I guess I could say it like this. I'm a person of color, and I've dealt with a lot of injustices in and or around me. So I think it was a trigger card. It had a lot more to do with my experiences in this life, and the traditional meaning of the card didn't resonate for me. So and anytime I saw it, I didn't have that intuitive hit like, oh, it means, okay, so justice means truth. And yeah, because that's what it's supposed to be. It's what it's supposed to be on an archetypal level. Yes, that's what the card represents. But there's spectrums to every card, because a justice card in reverse is injustice, right? So, so I had a hard time processing that. And I think it's more have to do with conditioning. A lot to do with conditioning. I'll just say it that way. And how do I feel about the card now? The same damn way. I mean, when I was first learning tarot, the associations to astrology didn't come to a little bit later on, I think. But then when I was able to kind of dump my astrological knowledge on top of all the cards, those associations, I was able to pull more out of that card and kind of get outside of my personal feelings about, my dealings with justice or injustice, or my witnessing, and the way the world is right now. It's a shame. Like, I feel like there's still a lot of injustice in the world. Let's just put it that way. And it triggers me a lot. Number 23 is share a tarot deck that you just had to break up with because it no longer resonates for you. I'm gonna catch a lot of shade for this one, I think. So I know that I've already explained the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan was a deck that I had and I gifted to a friend of mine because it didn't resonate for me like I thought it would, but it didn't. Beautiful deck, beautiful book, because I read the book and all that stuff. Just it didn't resonate for me, so I had to break up with it, I guess. But I came to the realization, the Tarot of the Vampires by Ian Daniels, I recently traded that one for the Handle Tarot. But I tried and the artwork is beautiful. I love the astrological glyphs are on there. Lord knows that I love me some glyphs on my cards, but yeah, I had to break up with that. And the book was fantastic. Phantasmagoria was amazing. I thought it was beautifully written, but it was kind of the same deal. Like it didn't resonate for me in that way. So I opted to trade it so that it could have a happy home. I really do need decks to have happy homes. Number 24 is if I could design a 79th tarot card that everyone would use, what would it look like and what would it represent? I kind of did that with my Centennial deck. There's 4 extra artist cards that come with the one in the commemorative set. So if there was a 79th card, I would do something in the realm of like ancestor or spirit guide. And like basically the way I would use it would be the card. Let's say you're putting a spread and like this ancestor card or this spirit guide card comes out. The card that follows it is like the message that the spirit or guide or the ancestor has for you. That's how it would that's how it functions for me now, because I have that kind of set up in my Centennial deck. But I would also have, like, I'm gonna do a couple more, like a blessings card and a warning card in there. And I just think that that would be cool, because sometimes, because if it pops up, it's like it makes more of a standout of like, oh, okay, so I need to be, I mean, I guess that's kind of a spread position at the same time, right? But I would like for that to be incorporated within it. Like, boom, this is a blessing, boom, this is and then one of them I have as a pay attention to your dreams. Like, if you have any dreams this week or within the next coming month or whatever, like, pay attention to your dreams, because there's messages there for you, something to that effect. So those are kind of my little extras that I throw into my routine when I use my Centennial deck, and every time they pop up, I love it. So yeah. Tarot or Oracle, which would you read with for the rest of your life if you had to pick one, and why? Tarot all day, because I can use it as a visual aid to astrology, and I love me some astrology too. If you don't know, now you know. You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you. Okay, now I'm busting on. Okay. Get it together. Definitely tarot. Definitely tarot. Because of the astrological component, because it's an actual system as well. That is important to me. It is structured. Everything has a place. There's a purpose for it, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it would definitely be tarot. Tarot over Oracle, all day, every day. Definitely because it's systematic. Because there's tradition behind it, because I can apply astrology on top of it. It's actually very cross discipline, can be worked into tarot. So I appreciate that, you know, alchemy, sacred geometry, all that good stuff can be laid right back onto tarot. So that's my choice, and I'm sticking to it. All right, moving on. Number 26, thoughts on tarot becoming mainstream. That is an interesting question. If mainstream, you mean like big brands are creating clothing with tarot, or I mean, let's be realistic. Anything that was underground that becomes mainstream becomes bastardized. And that's me just keeping it real, because, you know, everybody wants to get their hands on it, everybody wants a piece of the pie, and it gets bastardized, and the substance behind it leaves. And of course there's gonna be, you know, change and all that stuff, but then it's like people don't know who to listen to or where it came from, or credit is not given where it's due, and there's all kinds of things that can kind of go wrong. It's like a, you know, it'll get away from us, the kind of, you know, the sanctity of it can get away with us. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that it'll be more accepted. We wouldn't have to be like feeling like we're outsiders of some sort because we're, you know what I'm saying? So there's one side to it, but the reason why I say that bastardization is there is because they can take the images, they can take the traditional imagery and do whatever with it and completely strip away the story behind it, or try to omit that. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not down for, like, I'm all about preservation. And I think, I mean, those are just a few thoughts. That's kind of a deep question for me to be throwing in here like that. I could definitely bring some points up on that, maybe on a future video though, because it's an interesting subject to discuss for sure. So yeah, I guess if we mean that, you know, mainstream is like corporate or big brands kind of deal, it's possible that it could go that way. I could be wrong. It could go the other way and be really good and dope and stuff, but then everybody's an expert. And how do you tell the real from the fake? And then does that mean we have to have universities for it? And then does that mean if you didn't go to university that you don't know your shit? And no, see what I'm saying? Like, it's a slippery slope, my friends. It's a slippery slope. I'm gonna need to think on that one a lot harder, and like probably do like a mini series on what I think about tarot going mainstream. But I'm gonna keep it light and fuzzy. Okay, moving on. I only have so much space, so I'm trying to get through this. Number 27, share your first professional reading experience, either as a reader or as a seeker. Oh, as a reader, Lord. What did it say? Yeah. So it was like anxiety started setting in, and I was like, oh my God, this feels so weird. What's going on? I hope that, you know, this person gets the messages that they need to hear, and this and this and this and that, and that the bad cards don't come out. And guess what happened? All of the bad cards came out. They all came out. You know, the Tower, the Ten of Swords, the Fool. Who else came out? The Three of Swords. Yeah, it was actually kind of comical, but that was my moment of truth. That was the moment that I had to say to myself, okay, you either read this spread right here, or you never do it again. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not gonna, so I challenged myself, and once I got over that initial like apprehension, and I just read what was on the table, I kind of don't remember what I said. It was just kind of like, I was a channel, I was reading the cards, and then when it was all said and done, I got kind of confirmation that what I said was on point, and this and this and that, and I was like, oh, this is magic. Like, beautiful though. Like, even though these really, you know, maybe heavy cards came up, guess what? People don't usually come to you in pretty situations. They're going through stuff, right? And so these cards are bound to come out. Anyways, I was good. That right there was just like, yes, let's do this. Let's keep on going, because this person found clarity or understanding. You know, they got what they needed from me through that reading, and I thought that's just like a beautiful experience. And if I could experience that over and over again, I'm down. Number 28, share one celebrity that you would refuse to read for, no matter how much they paid you, and why. Well, that's an interesting question. Well, I'll say it like this though. I think as a person who is making YouTube videos, so celebrity can mean a lot of different things, but being a person who does videos, I do know that everything that's on video is not everything that's like, basically the reputation that I might have on video is not necessarily everything that's going on in my life exactly. You know, like, things will be omitted, like, you guys are not going to know everything, I'm not going to know everything about you guys. But if somebody came to me for a reading, like, you know, am I judging their character based on that presence only? And so therefore I'm refusing to read for them because of that. Or am I going to do my job as a tarot reader and read within my ethical code, you know, basically being, you know, the reading is about you, etc., etc., you know, whatever your list of, you know, whatever your code of ethics is or whatever. So there's nobody that I want to read for because they're celebrities. Like, I don't know if this was to be a fun question or not, you know, but I really, you know, that's the first thing that comes to my head, is that even if you have, like, if you're a small celebrity, a big celebrity, whatever, like, what's out there is not always the whole story. And so if I'm basing whether or not I'm going to read for somebody based on the story that I've seen that's out there, I'm doing myself a disservice. That's more than, you know what I'm saying, doing my job or doing that particular service. If I'm going to read cards, I'm going to read cards. What's your question? You know, now if you come at me sideways, if you give me attitude, if you do something specific to me or to somebody specific in my surroundings, that would make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Or can we prove, etc., etc., you know? So for me, it kind of does that. But I say that because as we're all participating in this video series, you know, we have a small following, or even if we're just following each other, we have a following, and that in a way can make us like celebrities. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say though, right? You get me. Because at some point, you know, we don't know who then we're influencing, and for somebody else, we could be their role model or their celebrity or whatever you want to call it. We're living in a new day and age, and so us understanding how it works on the back end, it should give us more perspective to how we might approach this on the front end. Okay, moving on. Number 29, what are your beliefs around the mechanics of a reading? How do you think it works? Is it your subconscious, higher self, spirit? The mechanics of a reading. Well, basically, symbols belong to us all. Every last one of us. It's a visual medium. Language, you know how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and if a picture is worth 1,000 words, each symbol could be worth 1,000 words, because depending on your background, where you're from, so you know, it functions in that capacity. There's things that we can recognize as being harmful or being pleasant, and things of that sort, like human nature. It just goes on human nature. There's also the psychological aspect of it. But I feel like spirituality and a certain part of like the subconscious deals with that realm too, the spiritual, the higher self. Like, it's all encompassing. We can't detach our secular selves from our spiritual selves, and vice versa. We can't do that. And so I feel like tarot tethers that together, and like that's kind of how it functions in so many words. Like, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm not trying not to make this video be like 100 hours long. But yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I feel like it's a little bit of all of that. Basically, okay. Number 30, what is the most culturally inclusive deck that you own? Let me see. Tarot Illuminati or Illuminati Tarot. Tarot Apocalypse. Those are both really inclusive culturally. What else? Yeah, I guess the question being like, as a deck within itself, that has different cultures in it. I feel like those two are, but I mean, there's other decks on the market that are like, you know, people of color decks too. I saw the Next World Tarot. that one's pretty inclusive, I must say, and it's sold out. Anyways, that one's really inclusive as far as diversity goes. I don't think I've seen another deck really be that culturally be that specifically that diverse with human imagery and things like that, and a beautiful deck. I really wish I could get my hands on it, but anyways, I don't own that one, but I mean, as far as ones that I've seen, I feel like that one really takes it to another level, in a good way. The Ancestral Path Tarot is another one too. That one's culturally inclusive as well, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I guess that's where I'm at with it, where it's not like culturally themed as a whole deck, right? So yeah, so that's that. And
number 31. We have 31 days of tarot.
What are your favorite tarot apps? Do you work with them on what platform? Smartphones, tablets? Oh, Miss Tarot Nerd admin herself asked this question. I've used the Fool's Dog app, and I think I use it just to check it out because somebody mentioned it. But I'm not really I'm old school. I like my paper decks. I'm not really a big fan of doing readings with the apps, but it is nice to be able to pull up a card to take a screenshot because you're referencing something. That's helpful. And that's pretty much how I would use my tarot apps. I did use it to try to sample some cards, like the Urban Tarot is one. My cat's whining. I'm almost done. Sorry. Yeah, but that's mainly how I use mine. But I'm that person. So yeah, Fool's Dog, and I think that's pretty much it. And I've downloaded it and installed it and deinstalled it many different times, because I don't really use it. So sorry, I wish I had more info for you. I really wish I could see the Galaxy app, but I know that's on an Android, so I need to, I'm curious what that's all about, because a lot of people do talk about that one, so I'm curious what all the rage is about. I'm on the other side of the aisle. I have no idea what is happening. Somebody do a video showing me this Galaxy Tarot app. Can I see? Can the people on the other side see what's going on? Can we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is 30 minutes on the dot, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. So until my regular videos come out, or until the next 31 days of tarot, see you next year. Much love, many blessings. Peace.